we have our young leaders here and they're talking governance, and oh my, they're bringing in issues that I didn't even think of. I didn't think they will bring. But you know what? Actually, I shouldn't be surprised, because these honorables here, I call them honorables because they're going to be our members of parliament, permanent secretaries, presidents of companies, and parastatals. They are coming. Young people are here. Young people are here to participate. Young people are talking clones, linking them to corrupt leaders. So someone once said that 10% of people are incorruptible, 10% are, and then 80% can be swayed either way. It starts at the root. It starts in the families. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going on a short break. Remember to sanitize, remember to wear your mask, remember to wash your hands regularly, and please do stay safe.
Only one newspaper captures the human side of Botswana.
We present business concepts in a way that is understandable for people.
We show you what's hot and what's not. We are the best-selling newspaper with the best online presence. The Voice speaks for itself.
Oh yeah.
Welcome back to the Botswana Center for Public Integrity Conversation Circle, where we circle governance issues with the people young, old, in the middle, crazy, not crazy. We're going to be circling those governance issues, so welcome back. We continue with Honorable Favor Simelani and Honorable Ismail Chand on governance through the eyes of the youth. When we left, they had just mentioned the word corruption. And that corruption is actually one thing that tests the leadership of a person. And we continue from there. Within the governance through the eyes of the people, we are in a ship. Our leaders are captains of the ship. People must participate in the steering of that ship as we move from one place to another. Government is a blanket. It's supposed to bring protection, safety, comfort, warmth to the people. When this blanket gets torn and tattered by leaders, people must stand up and move and create a movement for that blanket to cover everyone. So we'll continue from when they said corruption is a problem, and it starts from young. It starts from the roots. Now, Favor, Honorable Favor, you talked about clones earlier, and I found that analogy of leadership, or even linking it to corruption, very, very interesting. That sometimes we have leaders in place who are the root causes of corruption because they participate in it. And then from there, they clone themselves. But then from there, what we do as a people, as the governed, we go after the clones instead of going to the root. How can we really go, in your eyes, within governance? How can we really go to the root cause of corruption? How do we deal with the original person and not the clones?
Yeah, how do we deal with the root cause of corruption? Like I already mentioned, that corruption starts off with a leader being tested, life authenticating your leadership. And this test, if we trace it back from the Bible, there was a time when Jesus was in the wilderness and he was hungry at that time. And the devil came to him and said, "Look, you're hungry. Here's a stone, turn it into bread and eat." In other words, use your power to provide for yourself. You is hungry, use your power to provide for you.
Yeah.
So many views inside of there just brings up self-centeredness and selfishness. And Jesus refused because that was a test. Why did Jesus come here? To save the people. He did not come to use his power for himself.
Yes.
And if we take this principle and apply it to our modern day leadership, most leaders fail to overcome this test because in the first place, like I said, they were never in there for the people. They were only in there for themselves. So how do we deal with this corruption which starts off with a leader? A person once told me that if we enforce strong watchdogs, if we bring in more anti-corruption organizations, corruption will stop. But really, if you think about it, corruption won't stop. It's just avoided from happening because the original problem is that the leader still wants to steal.
Yes.
So even if there are strong watchdogs that are watching you, I mean, obviously one day they're going to get tired. They're going to like shift their eyes from watching. And that leader is going to do what? Steal, because their focus really isn't on moving. Their focus really is stealing.
Yes.
So, like you mentioned earlier, 80% of the people can do something, but can meaning that positive or negative, if they want or they don't want. So, like I said, we have natural born leadership. It's a quality that we all possess. Now, a person may want to enroll in leadership. They may have this great ideas which could bring change, but they do not want to implement them. Why? Because they feel scared, because they feel inferior, that, oh, I'm just a normal person, I'm just a passenger in the boat, what can I really do? How can I really steer the ship? Just look at this leader, so big, so vicious, there's problems. Corruption is such a vicious problem, how can I solve it? And I like to use the lion as an example.
Okay.
The lion is what I call the spirit of leadership.
Yeah.
Now this word spirit refers to attitude, an attitude of leadership. Why is the lion the king of the jungle? You take the lion, a small cat, it's not the largest, it's not the heaviest, it's not the smartest, it's not the tallest. But still, so many animals are scared of the small cat. The elephant, such an enormous creature, when it sees the lion, it trembles in fear. Why? Because the lion has a mentality of leadership. When it sees the elephant, it does not look at the elephant's size, that, oh my God, this elephant is so big, it could destroy me in a second. No, the elephant really looks at what it wants. I mean, the lion looks at what it wants. The lion wants lunch, and it acts on what it wants. So we take this principle and apply it here. Leadership, if you want to create change, do not really look at the problem as to how enormous it is, whether it's going to take time to solve it. Just focus on what you want to do, and that way we can really bring down corruption. Because if the true leaders are going to sit down and not bring the change, that's when we give platform to the wrong people to get in there and benefit for themselves, and the people end up suffering, like I mentioned on earlier.